Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Sam, and this is my video vlog series of pursuing art full-time. I'm currently taking a sabbatical, and it has now been week 18, and so we're about 4.5 months into it. Yeah, we're 4.5 months into this right now. And so in this video, I'm going to be just talking about a little update about what's been going on the past week or so. And if you want to know why I'm taking the sabbatical and, what's my purpose and what I'm doing, during this time, please check out that video. That's at video 0. Otherwise, in this video, I'm going to be talking about drawing and doing stuff with Megagirl for the past several weeks, which has been this kind of creative unfolding that has just been kind of coming up for me, which has been really fun. So I'm going to be going over that and talking about that. And the other thing I'm going to be talking about is my main 2D animation project that I've been working on for a couple of years now, and kind of where that is in pre-production right now, and with color counting and scripting. Someone please blow my head off. So that's been something, I guess I've been going through some creative blocks. So I'm just going to be talking about how I'm navigating that right now. But in regards to, Megagirl, so I'm just going to show a little bit off right here. So to share with you, what really started with this was more I actually did this sketch of, it was going to be a robot, and this was at the beginning of July. And it turned into Mega Man, but Mega Man that's a female, and I really liked it. I realized there wasn't too much gender bend stuff for Mega Man, and after I drew that, just kind of following that sketch interest, I started drawing more of these cyborg female characters, kind of like a female Mega Man, and just really enjoying the shapes on these characters that I was drawing. And so that's a different sketch. That's of a crab in a drum set. But anyways, I was just drawing more of this Mega girl character and just really enjoying it. And it felt kind of like when I used to draw when I was a kid, just drawing Kirby from Kirby's Dream Land, and just all the different ways Kirby transforms in his different transformations. And it was really feeling like I was connecting with my inner child here. And this is a picture of then now coloring in that female Mega Man character. And so that was that. And then I did another version, which was more of kind of Mega Man and Roll. If you know those two characters, how Roll's kind of like the mechanic, and Mega Man is, our cyborg robotic human. And so I did this version. I was really proud of this, and I like this. I did not color it in, but I was also basing this off of a Mega Man Legends pose and stance, so I was really enjoying this. And so next week, I started just drawing more Megagirl with she's a cyborg, but she's also has this kind of clothing piece on, and having these kind of robotic things come off the top of her head. I guess this is her not battle suit, so this is just a sketch. And I was doing some color exploration, and just a variation of this character. And then I ended up drawing this character, which I was kind of starting to lean into black and white manga inspired. And I really like this piece that I captured here, where she's kind of cute. She has her patched up kimono on, and I'm just I'm just kind of following my my gut here, just kind of leading me to one thing and then to another. And so I'm trying to explore more of her design here, and so I'm trying out different things, trying out different versions of who and what she's going to look like. These are some other, variations. I'm also pulling from reference of other people's art, just trying it on her for a bit, because I want to really get into her design and understand that more. And so then in the following week, I'm drawing Megagirl, but I'm kind of like starting to explore her story and who she is and how did she become a cyborg and kind of like, what's her why and what is she even doing there. And so I drew this comic. This is a very more of a rough version where she's getting yelled at a drill sergeant to wake up on her first day of training, and she just wants to go back to the Baptic tank of goo. And so this is kind of funny because this is giving me more ideas of the universe and the world that she's a part of. And I've just been running with it and exploring that. This is another one. This is more of a sketch or a rough draft of her just lounging and just being bonked out. And maybe there being like an animal familiar that accompanies her. That's another variation of it. Here's a more finished piece of that one panel. And this is another picture of her that I did that I took some reference of the gesture pose for, which she looks a little bit different in this one, but I'm still exploring kind of what she looks like, but I'm still going for these flowing shapes, which I really, really like, but I don't want it to be too shapy like Jenny, the robot from, I think, Nickelodeon Cartoon Network. But anyways, this was another variation, trying stuff out. Yeah, and so in this following week, for the fourth week, I'm exploring her more like what she's like within the tank, where she's like being submerged, and they've probably had her as a cyborg, and that she's like undergoing a lot of surgery, and that she's in this tank where she's like healing and unconscious for a good portion of her of this process. And so I'm kind of like exploring that with some different poses, kind of exploring the Baptic tank, but kind of like a lava lamp. But I'm really enjoying this, and I want to do more of this. And then this is kind of like the 4-panel comic of her here, which I have yet to put the words into, and I still have to draw the bunny in there. But this is kind of like where she's kind of like been with that. But yeah, I guess that's the finished version of it. So, but the interesting thing about Megagirl is that I've been creating her from a place of joy and a place of fun. And this is really different from kind of like what's the space in which I create from when I'm creating a piece of art. Like sometimes I could create a piece of art that I know it's going to be a product, which I want to see, put out there. But sometimes I'm just drawing her for the sake of drawing her, because I like the shapes. I'm not even into cyborgs. I'm not even, except for Alita Battle Angel. Okay, she's cool. But it's really interesting to draw and just this character for fun, and I'm not knowing where this is leading me. I'm not knowing if this is productive or if it's going to give me accolades or finances or certainty of the future. And that's kind of scary for my ego and my mind when I'm just drawing this and putting time and energy just for fun and developing her character and her story and the style there's no, like, I don't even know where this is going, but it's developing. It is growing and it is blossoming and it is evolving. And those are all great things. And it's kind of interesting when you approach your creative project from a place of just unconditionality. And some of the stuff, even like the 4-page panel comic here where the drill sergeant is being yelled at her, it's kind of like, I'm kind of having fun with that and kind of like, who are these characters and how do they play around with each other? And it's becoming, fun in some ways. And I'm like, sometimes I'm pretty strict with my bedtime. Well, not so much lately because I've just been reading manga to get more ideas before bed in the next day. But sometimes I've had these feelings like I can't wait to draw Megagirl in the morning. And I love that feeling where I'm looking forward to what I'm working on. But with that said, it has not been the case for my main 2D animation project, which I've been working on for a couple of years. It's starting to become a slog. So I'm having having some creative block around that. And so I can share some stuff here around what's been going on with that and kind of what I'm doing in order to navigate that creative block. Because when it comes to this project, I've been, I'm doing this animation piece because it's a mirror to my own experience of overcoming and hardship and going through adversity when facing betrayal and abandonment. And this is something which I went through around like 2020 in the year of the pandemic, and it was a lot. It was a lot. And so this project has been a way for me to process that and to show and share that journey of coming through on the other side with others. And I've been working on color comping for my characters, and here's like an image of kind of like some of the different characters, and I'm like, well, we got she going through a desert, there's sky, there's shrubs, there's earth, but I'm putting these colors down and I'm like, it doesn't look that very good, and I'm not too proud of it, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And I don't know, it's not really spurring or striking something within me. And here's another image of her in the background. Looks a bit more organic. It's cool, but still I'm like, where is this going? I have no idea. And I have all the scenes, I have all the thumbnails. I got all my characters. It's just this coloring part just got me like, what is going on here? And you might be looking at this and being like, oh, this is fine. And I kind of like this, where I have this texture, and I feel like this is a good idea about kind of where I want to go with this. And so I'm like, all right, that's, if you ever played Sudoku where you get one number in, or you're playing a crossword and you get at least something in that helps for the rest of the bigger picture, I feel like this image here is kind of helping me gear more towards that. So I'm looking for those kind of anchors. Like this is another one for another scene where I'm coloring it in, where she's arriving. This is one where she's getting tossed out of her tribe at the beginning. And I feel like this kind of captured the mood. So I felt pretty good about this one. But it's still very sketchy. It's very like, I'm playing with crayons here, y'all. I'm a kid playing with crayons, trying to figure his way out. This one wasn't too bad for a nighttime scene. This is her leaving, the village. Yeah, here's some other ones. And this is her eating watermelons, victory moment. So my plan for this going forward is, when I was doing the coloring this week, okay, I did some stuff, right? But it really started to wear on me in the regards to like, am I good enough as an artist? Can I do this? This is so frustrating. I'm starting to beat myself down. I'm getting in like a terrible spiral here. I'm like, I'm putting so much of my finances, my energy, and my time into this sabbatical, and it's like, is this going to get wasted? And so these are fears and doubts and insecurities that are coming out for me to face. And I will tell you, if you're an artist or creative and you're watching this and listening, that facing those fears and those insecurities and doubts are part of the creative process here, at least for me. And I notice when I get through some of these layers, I find myself on the other side. And it's pretty great. So this is just a tough one that I'm hitting right here. And so I'm just trying to be gentle and compassionate and kind to myself in this process. And so for the next week or so, I'm just going to have zero expectations as much as I can for myself here, and just do 30 minutes to an hour on this project, and just not have any expectations of whether it's going to solve everything, but just kind of throw spaghetti, paint at the wall, see what sticks. We're just going to roll with it and just allow the process to be as gentle and relaxed as possible as I'm approaching this. So yeah, and I'm going to be drawing hopefully more Megagirl, experimenting with some studies this week. So we'll see. So this is my update for this week. It's been week 18. I might do one for week 19 or 20. We'll see. But anyways, this is my vlog. If you're listening to this, if you've had creative blocks and with your process, and it's something that you learned through or that you were able to get through on the other end, I would like to hear about it. Or if you know other people or other resources where that's happened. And otherwise, this is it, and I'm out.